Oh, I'm live. Look at that. They changed the interface quite a bit here, so I'm going to have to do some adjusting while I find out what else is going on. I have to figure out. Oh, they did change this, didn't they? Okay. Let's see here if I can find out how to find you. Oh, I know. I'm going to go through here, Creator Studio, find out where my live thing is going. There's my live thing. And no, that's not the way. See if I can go through here. No, wait a minute. Okay. Been a while since I've done this with a computer, so I'm learning it all again. And they changed the interface. And here, if I join here like this, I can see the chat. Okay, now I shut the tab. Oh, there's Whiskey Throttle. I'm just gonna get me some adjustments here in terms of maybe light. I'm just starting out. There, maybe that lights up the background just a little better. And oh, you're driving home. Cool. Cool. Nice to have you with us. We've got two people with me here already. Before I start tasting these infinity bottles that I have going, I'll give you a background on the whole thing. Just yesterday, I put up a video and I mentioned that I'm going to put a little bit in an infinity bottle, and I said I had 8 of them, and somebody said, 8 infinity bottles? All I have is one, and it has 2 scotches in it. And then somebody else said, well, I don't know about everybody else, but I'd be interested in finding out about your infinity bottles. And I thought, well, what better way to do it than go live? So I know I didn't leave any warning that I was going to be coming on, and I didn't mention anything else. I don't know. It seems to be kind of slow on YouTube this week. But here I am. So I'm going to start. I suppose I could start. It says there's 2 watching now. One of them is me probably, and one is probably Whiskey Throttle. We don't have anybody else on right now. Maybe my timing is bad. Maybe people are having dinner right now. Maybe, I don't know what. BB barbecue meat. Oh, okay. I'm going to shove a pizza in the oven after I've tasted these 4 infinity bottles that I have in front of me. That should be interesting. And you'll join up later. Good. Cool. I might still be here. Okay. Well, you know, people can always watch later and come back and see what I've done. Let's go back here and see. That's the other one. This is the live camera. Oh, okay. I get it now. Now this is showing me my comments on the same. Hey, there's Sneerson. Hey, Whiskey Sneerson. Good to have you with us. They have changed the interface of this live thing quite a bit, so I can always get out of that one. They've put everything on one screen now, so I get my live view of me live, and at the same time I can see my comments on the side. And oh, that's nice. That's nice. Less fumbling around than there used to be. They're making it easier to stream live than they ever did. I remember the first time I did this. It was so hard to do and so difficult. Now it's as easy as doing it on your phone. You just click on it and boom, it's on. Nice. Nice. We got 3 people watching now, and one of them is not me. So Whiskey Throttle and Whiskey Sneerson, and everybody's saying hello to each other, which is wonderful and great. Let's see. Maybe we should gather a few more people on here. I don't know. It says there's 2 watching. Okay, so maybe I took myself off, so I'm not the 3rd one anymore. So there's 2 people watching. And we're live. We've gone on for 4 minutes. I don't really expect many people to tune in because I haven't usually come on Saturdays. But my schedule at work has changed. I used to work Monday through Friday. Now I work Sunday through Thursday. So I have Friday off. And Friday is pretty much a write-off because after working all Thursday night, I'm sleeping Friday most of the day. In the evening, I take care of things like paperwork and running errands and getting groceries and stuff like that on Friday night. And then I sit back and I do a whiskey video or 3 or 4. And then, what's to drink? Yeah, that's the thing. We've got infinity bottles here. I'm going to try 4 of my 8 infinity bottles today. This is it's a Cardew bottle, but it's Canadian. It's my Canadian Infinity, so it's got a little bit of everything Canadian that I've tasted over the last year and a half. Every time I open a bottle of Canadian whiskey, I put a dram in here, and of course, I very often drink a dram before I can put a dram in. So the thing is always evolving. This one here is more a blend of, well, you're probably familiar with 40 Creek if you know Canadian whiskey. There's 40 Creek Copper Pot. When I initially started this bottle, about half of it was 40 Creek Copper Pot. And then I put in some Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye and some Gibsons and some Glenbretton and a few other Canadian whiskeys. And 1 dram of Lagavulin 8 and a dram of Lechaig 10. So this is a blend of Canadian whiskey and Islay peat. Next, I have my Irish blend, which has got Jameson's, Black Barrel, and everything that I've done in the way of Irish whiskey in the last year and a half. There's a dram of each one in here. And of course, every time when I'm going to pour another dram in, I pour a dram out and drink it and then put a dram in. I have here my Islay whiskey. It's in a Port Charlotte bottle, my Islay Infinity. And it's got a little bit of everything Islay that I have had in the last year and a half. And of course, in order to make room for a new one, when I open a new one, I pour a dram. So that's what I'm drinking now. We got 3 people. Okay, so we've got Whiskey Throttle, Whiskey Sneerson, and anybody else coming on? Well, maybe not. And Sneerson only has a Infinity bottle, Canadian. Okay, well that'll be interesting. So I'm gonna pour some of my Canadian Infinity and see what. I wonder if this would taste anything like yours. Be interesting to find out. I've put a lot of interesting things in there. Some of them are from you, naturally. Okay, let's. Oh, I'm getting some. Smells like whiskey. Smells like whiskey already. Let's see now. And Mega John Conrad. Okay. Enjoying a dram of Glendronach Cask Strength Batch 2. Oh, excellent. I had a Batch 4 once upon a time. In fact, last night I had some Glendronach too. It was the 18 Allardyce bottled at 46%. And I just started it. I poured 1 dram for me and 1 dram for my Speyside Infinity bottle, and the rest is still there. And I probably have a lot more BC content in mine, probably. The Allardyce is good. It's all fruit, but it's so many fruits, and the fruits keep changing every time you take a sniff or every time you take a sip. It's always changing. It's complex. Be interesting to see what happens to that bottle as the level goes down. Oh wow, yeah. There's It's actually quite subtle. There are so many things mixed in here that so many things mixed in here. I'm getting something fruity. And I'm getting something spicy too. The spices are no doubt from all of those grain whiskeys, rye whiskeys and wheat whiskeys. And there's definitely some of that weedy spice, rye spice, bubblegum. And okay, Mega John Conrad loves the Allardyce as well. Okay. Find the Sperling content has somewhat overwhelmed my infinity bottle. Yeah. I'm getting some of that. Some of that stuff can be pretty harsh from the Sperling Silver. Oh, I just got a new subscriber. Cool. I'm getting close to that 1,000 mark right now. Last time I looked, it was 988. If this is subscriber number 989, we've got 11 to go. I don't know when it's going to happen. It could be a week from now, could be a month from now, could be a couple days from now, depending on how many people watch and hit that subscribe button. Not that that's the focus of this whole thing. Yeah. I'm getting some of that Sperling content, and some of it is pretty harsh, being quite young. Super chat. Oh, right, yeah. Super chat. That would be nice, I guess. But I haven't monetized, or I'd have to monetize a whole bunch of stuff. And I've been watching Swami from Malted in Montreal. And his thing is that he just got his monetization now, and it's been over a month since he's reached 1,000, and I think you have to apply to receive the monetization and the super chats and all that. Yeah, there's definitely some of that grainy spiciness from the Sperling in here. What else am I getting? I'm getting some corn naturally, and some rye. But the thing is, when you have an infinity bottle, you pour some other stuff into it. I've poured some 40 Creek, some Canadian Club, some Lowen McKinnon, some Wisers. There's a lot of all kinds of things in there. Of course, the most recent things you poured in will have more influence because the volume of that stuff is greater than the stuff that was poured in long ago. Because as you go along, stuff that was poured in longer gets used up when you pour a dram. But as it's an infinity bottle, it's always doing some kind of it's always evolving. It's always changing. Never tried making an infinity bottle, says Mega John Conrad. I didn't really think about it either until somewhat more than a year ago. One of my subscribers was doing some experimenting and said, I have some Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye and some 40 Creek Copper Pot. So he used the Copper Pot as a base, and then he put the Crown Royal Northern Harvest, and he put some, I forget which peated. I think he was just using Lefroy 10 or something in there. But I had some Lecheg 10 and some Lagavulin 8 lying around, so I poured some of that in. And then I just topped it up with whatever Canadian whiskey I had on top of that. But that's the other one. This is the one that's just plain Canadian whiskey. Every time I have a Canadian whiskey, I put some in. Let's taste it. Oh, yeah. It's got a very thick mouthfeel. It's a lot of that corn and rye, and I'm getting something spicy on the tip of the tongue. And what happened here? It went away and it came back. My chat. Some messages, such as potential spam, may not be visible. Oh, interesting. What have we got? Might try mixing miniature bottles. Oh, disappeared again. All messages are visible. Yes, that's what I want. I try mixing miniature bottles. Would think it would be important to keep notes. I suppose so. Well, the way I've kept notes is I've made videos about every bottle that I've opened up in the last year and a half. So it's all there on my content. Those are the notes, basically. In case you find an incredible blend. Oh, right. Well, it's always evolving. Right now, it's got some of that corn and that caramel, a little bit of vanilla, and spices. The spices are coming from Sterling Silver, definitely. And they use things like unmalted rye and malted rye. They use malted rye. They have blends of malted and unmalted rye. I think it's all done by column still. I might be wrong, or maybe there's some pot still in there. I'm not sure what they use. But their claim to fame is, or at least something that I've never seen anyone else do, is malted rye at Sterling Silver. So it's giving me some of those rye notes and some of that spicy stuff. Of course, there's other things in here like this one here. I just picked it up last night. I went to a liquor store that I don't usually go to in another town because I went out there to get something. And I pulled into this liquor store, and I was looking for some Elijah Craig 12, but I couldn't find any more there. That was one of the last stores that had it, but they had one bottle of this guy left, Weiser's Legacy. So the Weiser's Legacy, there's some of that in here too. There's a whole bunch of Weiser's things in there. Put this away. It also has things like Alberta Premium, and some rye from Canada. Rye and what else? Gooderham and Worts. Special Old. There's some Special Old in there, and there's even some. What's that stuff called? Yes. There's even some Shelter Point in there, local stuff. So, yeah, there's some BC stuff, and there's some Sterling Silver and a whole bunch of things. Okay. If Whiskey in the Six and I go live, do you want to join and talk about your infinity bottles together? Well, that's a really cool. Well, yeah, I suppose so. Could do that, I suppose. And Mega John Conrad says, great idea. Would like to get him over the 1K subscriber mark. Did you say you added Weiser's Hopped? Actually, I added some Legacy, and yes, I think I did add some Hopped because my next video is going to be Weiser's Hopped. There's some of that in there too. But I still think there's more Sterling Silver than Weiser's Hopped. So, Now that you mention it, there is a little bit of bitterness. Maybe that's what I'm getting. Ask Rob what his schedule is like. I think he needs to put his wife to sleep first. Okay. Well, let me know in the comments here, and I'll keep going so far, and we'll see what happens. I'll keep going for a while, and if you guys come on later on when I'm still on, I could join you. You got my email, right? I think so. So yeah, there is some. I did start a Wiser's Hopped. Let's see. The trouble with these dark bottles is that, oh yeah, there's a couple of drams missing from there, so it's down past the shoulder. So yeah, that's the Wiser's Hopped. There is some of that in there. I think that was the last thing I added. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Did I do that? Did that video go up yet? I think it did. Yeah, last week. The videos that will be coming up this week will include. I did some bourbons this week. Oh, my live chat disappeared again. That's strange how it does that. Oh, it's back again. Okay. And Mega John Conrad says, I saw a video by the Whiskey Vault where he said 80% Allardyce and 20% Glenmorangie Quinta Rubin Macallan M. He even pulled a bottle of Macallan M off the shelf to confirm the similarity. Huh. That poor man's Macallan M? Interesting. Well, Allardyce is, like I said, very fruity. I just had some last night, and it was very fruity. I was thinking, well, where's the spice? Wouldn't this be great with peat? But I'm kind of a peat head, so I would be missing the peat in there. And Quinta Rubin, okay, so that would add some different fruits to it. That would make it more. It would make it taste a little more like port naturally. But it's been a while since I've had Quinta Rubin, but I liked it a lot. I was somewhat, well, maybe because of all the hype that was made about the 18-year-old Allardyce, I was expecting it to be better than it was. It was definitely very good, but I was expecting somehow more. And Sneerson saying, this is a unique time for Quig to come on. How do you think you will like the new workdays? Mac M is a $4,000 bottle. Yeah. I've never seen it, and I probably never will. Actually, I've been working the Sunday through Thursday now for 3 weeks. I came back from my vacation 4 weeks ago. The first week I worked Monday through Friday. Then I took the Saturday off, and I started working Sunday through Thursday. So I've done that 3 weeks in a row now. And you know what? I think it's doing me good. There's a lot less stress. I don't have to put up with those terrible Fridays anymore. I didn't like Fridays. It was too busy. And Sam Cox finally caught my live. Yeah, here we are. That's very good. Barry Dunham's here too. Great. So we've got 4 people watching. That's nice. Mega John Conrad. And I think Whiskey Throttle may have left for a moment because we've got 4. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. Well, Oscar Wilde was right on. So have you had another dram of the Lag 12? I'm very intrigued by this one. I've got to get my hands on it now. Yes, I have not had another dram of the Lag 12. I've put some of it in my Isla Infinity, which I'm going to be trying later. I've had some before, but now it's got some Lag 12 in it, so it's going to be interesting. I'm still on my Canadian Infinity. That's this one here. It's got a says I've written it on the label there, Canadian Infinity, and that's got everything that I've poured. A little bit of everything that I've poured that's Canadian in the last year and a half or so. Yeah, Lag 12. That's nice. And Whiskey Throttle's there trying the barbecue. Great. That Island Infinity bottle is going up in value. Yeah, a lot of money was put into that one, yeah. When I think of things like Laphroaig 18 and Lagavulin 12 and Lagavulin Distillers Edition and Port Charlotte, at least 2 versions of Port Charlotte. It's also got some, Kalilas. It's got like 3 Kalilas in it. It's got some of that peat reek. It's got some of that peat reek from Blackadder. It's got but this Canadian one's working very well. Yeah, it's got some of that, definitely some of that hoppiness from the Wiser's hops, and some of that spiciness from the Sperling Silver. But if I put some more Canadian Club or something in there, or maybe some Golden Wedding, that should smooth it out a little bit. It's very nice as it is. It's interesting. Let's see now. Think about it. To obtain the quality of that Infinity bottle, you had to buy a couple $1,000s in whiskeys. Exactly. But I've enjoyed them, and I still have some here. So that's not a problem. Not a problem. I don't mind. It's tips. I'm a tip earner, and I make enough without the tips to live on. So it's all good. Besides, I live alone. I don't have any dependents. I don't have any other responsibilities besides, paying my bills. That's it. Those are my responsibilities. Pay my bills, make sure I make enough money to pay my bills, and that's it. Okay. And Sneerson saying, was at a Burton Cummings concert. Cool. Last night in Regina. He says he lives in Moose Jaw now. Whiskey Throttle haunts for a couple of months. Yeah. Burton Cummings. Wow. He's the Guess Who, was it? Was it the Guess Who? Yeah, I remember a lot of his songs. I think I have quite a few of them somewhere. That is cool, says Whiskey Throttle. And Sam Cox is saying, I've been craving smoky whiskeys lately. Don't think I've seen you happier than when you tried the Lag 12. I bet it was worth every penny. I'd say so. It's good. It's very good. How would you say the Lag 12 holds up against Port Charlotte 10 or 11? Ooh. You're making me want to do a side-by-side right now, aren't you? Oh, man. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll take 2 glasses. I don't have any Port Charlotte 11, but I have the 10, second edition. Now, the 10 second edition is this guy here. This is the Port Charlotte 10 second edition. I've got a little more than half a bottle left. I'll just pour a wee bit just to do a comparison. There it is, a wee bit. And I can still get this. It's still on the shelves in the BC liquor store. So that's really nice. And here is the Lag 12, like so. And I'm going to pour just a wee bit of that. Would I say that's about right? Well, there's a little more of Lag 12, but I have more in the bottle than I have the other stuff, so I think it's fair. This goes back on the shelf where it belongs. Okay, Port Charlotte. That's this one. Ooh. Throttle says, I call BS. All those infinity bottles are dependent on you. Yes, they are. The inadvertent plan to make you do a side by side, but hey, you'll get the most joy out of it. There's Raymaster7482 saying, I have that PC2. Great bottle. Yes, it is. That's my third or fourth bottle of that stuff. It's wonderful. Maybe water down the lag 12 strength to match the port 10. Well, let's see. Right away, I'm getting peat, and I'm getting the fruity notes from the sherry. Wow. That's our Port Charlotte 10 second edition. This is the lag 12. Oh, the lag 12. It has the same. It has a sweeter, gentler peat, and I would venture to say more fruit. There's the Charlotte 10 again. Wow. Definitely more volatile stuff in the lag 12, but the lag 12 is cast strength, right? The Port Charlotte I know is 50% because Bruichladdich bottles at 50%. And Raymaster agrees with Sam Cox about watering down the lag 12 a little bit. Okay. Mega John Conrad says, I'm developing a relatively new palate for Islay whiskeys. Love Ardbeg Uigeadail. What would you recommend I try given that I enjoy the Uigeadail? Have you tried the Corey Vrecken? Corey Vrecken's good. I think you'd like these two. The Port Charlotte 10 second edition and the Lagavulin 12. Oh, man. I wasn't so taken with the Uigeadail. I think I was put off by the way it tasted at first when I uncorked it, and it took a while for it to win me back. It was okay. It was all right. But it's not my favorite. But that was 4 years ago when I was still, my palate wasn't as developed as it is now. So it could be that I'm going to let the Islay whiskeys sit for a bit. It could be that maybe now I would appreciate Uigeadail more than I did before. I find with Ardbeg, it's either a hit or a miss for me. Like I've had some Ardbegs that were not quite to my liking, and I've had a couple others that were fabulous. Now the Canadian smells like nothing in comparison. It's gentler, somewhere to start. In fact, I'm going to keep these Islay whiskeys off to the side, and I'll get to them later. I'll let them open up for a while. And besides, it's better to go Islay at the end. So I've lined things up Canadian and Canadian with just a little bit of Islay. And then I've got my Irish blend right here. This is my Irish Infinity blend. And I got the Islay blend for last in terms of Infinity. All right. Yeah. Barry Dunham says, just started my infinity bottle, so I'll have to join in with a dram of Chivag. I've never had Chivag. One day. I'm going to go to Scotland next year, so maybe I'll get a chance to try Chivag. I can't get it around here. Okay. Sam's saying, that's true. Ardbeg is a hit or miss, he found, but you can't go wrong with ever faithful, trusty 10. That is true, Sam. The 10, yeah, the 10 is consistent. But all these other whiskeys that they produce that cost more and they're only available for a short time, hit or miss. And Sam's saying, good idea to let them open up. As I always say, never rush a good thing, especially dealing with such fine scotches. Precisely. Raymasters 7482 says, if you can still find it, buy Ardbeg Supernova. You won't be disappointed. I saw that on the shelf one time, and the price was just ridiculous. It was something like $300. Something like that. And I'm going, nah, I'm not really prepared to spend that much money on a Supernova. I did see it, but I didn't jump. I would jump at something a lot cheaper, but Supernova was way out of my price range. Whiskey Sneerson saying, just poured one from my Canadian Infinity bottle. Come to think of it, there is a good mix of top, mid, and bottom shelf. Delicious. There you go. Exactly. That's what this is. I'm going to move on over to my copper pot. Copper pot and Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye, Gibson Sterling, Glen Breton 14, Lagavulin 8, Lecheg 10. And the Lagavulin 8 and the Lecheg 10 have been in there for more than a year. And I will have to add some copper pot or something to it eventually. I top it off every now and then when I have something. I don't go through this one as fast. Okay. All right. Donner Pass whiskey, just getting here. Testing different Infinity bottles. Yeah, I'm tasting some Infinity bottles that I have going and just giving my impressions of them because some people thought it was a good idea. It's real nice and only $40 in Ontario. Now, what are we talking about? Oh, yeah, the 10. Yeah. Only $40? That's good. It's more than that here. 300 is too much? Yeah. Thoughts on Benromach 10? That's on my list. Was that a 10-year-old? Let me check. I know I had one. Oh my goodness. Benromach, 10 years old, was a while ago. I think it was 4 years ago. I don't even know if I made a video about it. I was going to go say, look at the video. I haven't had that one in a while. The one that I did like from Benromach was the organic. That one just blew me away. Or was it Benriach 10? There was a Benriach. The red one, the sherry cask one, I don't think they make that anymore. Can I scroll here? Yes, I can. Oh, that's good. I can scroll. There's another Benriach. There's a 12 Benriach. It's a white what comes in a white can. I got that in Alberta. I can't get it here, but it's really good. Ben Riach and Benromach are both good. I'd say go for them both. And John Conrad, Supernova, hadn't heard of it. I like the Corey Vrecken, but I find the Ardbeg grooves to be too salty. The 10 is just too much ashtray smoke for my taste. Oh, okay. It is very ashtray. I haven't had the grooves yet, but I got a full bottle down there. I'm going to get to it eventually. There are just so many whiskeys that I haven't opened yet that I don't know which one to go first. So the ones that I've had longest are the ones that I opened first. Just so to make it less confused. I have about 75 open bottles already, not counting these infinities. So I don't like to keep them open for more than a year, because after a year, most of them have reached their peak and they're sliding down. And I don't want to mess around with gassing them. So I'll open 2 or 3 a week, approximately. And I have a few samples that I'm making videos about too, so it takes time. Okay, so Benromach and Ben Riach, they're all good. They're all winners. Yeah. Now Supernova, that Ardbeg Supernova, I think that came out 2 or 3 years ago. There might still be a few bottles around. Donner Pass is saying drinking Altamore 12 and Deanston 12 side by side. Interesting. I'd get a lot more flavor out of the Deanston personally. I've had the Altamore 12 and I found it to be kind of light, especially considering that it was bottled at 46%. I wasn't getting that much flavor out of it. I don't know. I think they used refill bourbon barrels rather than first fill. I think Altamore is a little bit too subtle for my taste, but the other one, the Deanston 12, was very nice. I recall you at a tasting. You sampled an Octomore and was blown away. Do you remember which Octomore that was? I'm wondering how it would compare to the Lag 12. Oh, I don't know. It was an Octomore that was available. I think that was in 2005, 2015. So more than 3 years ago. That was the first whiskey the first whiskey festival I went to. Oh, this is wonderful. It's got the sweetness from the copper pot, and the Northern Harvest Rye has a little bit of gives it a little bit of a minty note. And then it's got the Gibsons, which is just filler, basically. And the Glenbretton 14, which I don't really like that much. And then, of course, the gentle peat from the Lecheg 10 and the powerful, full-on peat from the Lag 8. This makes a good blend. I like it. Oh, excuse me. Oh. And the peaty and spicy notes, they linger on. It's got a long aftertaste. It's mostly Canadian whiskey, but it's got that peatiness. A little bit of peat goes a long way. Octomore, yeah. The thing is at whiskey festivals, you get just a little sample. You get a little tiny bit like this. And Wow, there's legs. There's legs up. There's legs. Look. See those legs right there? Just from tilting it like that. Wow. This is the Port Charlotte. What's happening with this one here? This is our lag 12. Oh yeah. Got legs there too. And slowly the drops are forming on the top and slowly sliding down. Oh, this stuff is heavenly. No, this blows almost everything else out of the way. The Port Charlotte is lovely, but this lag 12. Wow. Let's see. So many great whiskeys. Yes. So little money. I concur. Hell, Quig, you are almost at 1,000. Yeah, I know, Triple Cap. I know. It's getting there slowly. I didn't really make a big deal out of it today. I mentioned it. And then just as I had come on, somebody had subscribed. So, yeah, almost there. And Barry says, no Chavig, not the 10. We get screwed in on terrible. Okay. Sam Cox is saying, what do you think of old Pulteney 12? That's a cheaper one on the list for me. Pulteney's good. A little bit salty. It's a nice Highland single malt. I love Highland single malts. Probably more than Speyside. And they're neck and neck with Islay. It just depends on my mood. In summer, I'd rather drink Highland than Islay. Islay is for stormy winter weather and rain and sleet that comes at you sideways and things like that. Yeah, 11 people watching. That's good. Been on for 47 minutes. We'll stay on for a while. Absolutely. Old Pulteney, I also have some 17. I have a bottle of 17 that I haven't opened up yet. That's been discontinued. There's still some in the store, but it's about $200. There are other Pulteneys too. There's one called the Navigator. I got a bottle of that, but haven't tried it yet. And I might even pull the trigger on a bottle of Clipper, which is, I think, BC exclusive non-age statement old Pulteney. But every Pulteney I've tried, I've had 12 and 17. I think I've had another one in there somewhere. Very good, especially for the price, says Donner Pass Whiskey. Yes. It's very good. Whiskey Throttle saying Benromach is awesome. Yes, it is. Every Benromach I've had was awesome. I just haven't had any for a while. Oh. This blend, this one with the 40 Creek and the Crown Royal Northern Harvest and the Gibson Sterling and the Glen Breton and maybe a couple other Canadian whiskeys and the Lagavulin 8 and the Lecheg 10 gets better all the time. This is one Keeper Infinity bottle. Wow. I have another one with Big Pete in it and with Lefroy Glore. I'm going to do that one next week. I think four Infinity bottles in one session is enough. I mean, I've been going on for like 49 minutes and I'm only halfway through the second. And we do have that side-by-side thing going on here. Now you know. Having tasted this, okay, I have to dig, but there's the peat. The 12 is still Lagavulin. for a while there, Laphroaig was my favorite distillery. It's still up there. It's still up there. But Lagavulin, with their Distiller's Edition and their 12, hard to beat. Very hard to beat. Okay, what else have we got? So little money. Thing called Pultney. Ben Roma is awesome. Raymaster is saying to Mega John Conrad, I believe they released the first batch in 2010. It's not a standard release. Oh, what are we talking about now? Oh, Supernova. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I believe that. Supernova is I first heard about it about 3 years ago. Donner Pass is saying to Whiskey Throttle, did you get to go home? Did. Now I'm in Saskatchewan again. Home next week. Oh, okay. So he went home to Alberta, and now he's in Saskatchewan again for work. And good to know. If I see it, I'll pick it up. Also looking for a Dark Cove. I've never seen a Dark Cove. They were talking about Dark Cove and Dark Cove committee release. I've never seen a Dark Cove, but I did get some grooves, and I got the one they had before that. That was the Ardbeg. What is it? Oh, yes. The mean old Kelpie. The mean old Kelpie. I don't know what to make about that one yet. I'm not sure if it's a hit or a miss. I'm going to give it some more time to oxidize in the bottle before I really give it a final verdict, because it is intense. Okay. And Raymaster's saying, what are your 3 most favorite Scottish single malt distilleries? I like a lot of them. I have to think about that. I like a lot of them. Glencaddam is up there right now. I'm liking that one a lot. Lagavulin, Laphroaig, Oban. Glengarry. Highland Park. Kalila. I can't bring it down to 3. I'm just can't, because it depends on my mood, what I'm going to go for, what I'm going to reach for. You know, there's Mortlach. There's Tobermory for Lechaig. I have yet to have a Tobermory that's not a Lechaig, but that will change really soon, because I have a 21-year-old Tobermory that was bottled by, who were they bottled by? I'll tell you in just a moment. The Whiskey Broker, Tobermory 21. So I'll get a chance to try Tobermory, which I've had the Lechaig, which I love. But I have trouble narrowing it down to 3. I have trouble quantifying anything when it comes to whiskey, so this is why I don't rate. This is why I don't say, this is a 92 and this is an 87 and that's an 81. I can't do that. I'm too indecisive to come down and say, this is what this rates at. It's subjective. It may be one rating today and a different rating tomorrow. Okay. Dark Cove. There seems to be a lot of audio crackling in your stream, unless it's just an issue on my end. Really? Crackling. I hope not. I'll have to replay this and find out later on. Maybe maybe my chair is making noise. I don't know. Crackling, eh? Is anybody else experiencing that audio crackling? Because I have my sound turned off. Ben Riach is underrated. Yes, Whiskey Throttle. It is. Now I lost something. Okay. Okay, I'll have to go back to oh my goodness. I'm moving too slow, am I not? Okay, we talked about Scottish. There seems to be a lot of audio. Anybody else getting that? Ben Riach is awesome, underrated. What's up, everyone? Oh, there's blind whiskey reviews. Cool. Donner Pass Whiskey saying to blind reviews, hi. And hey. And Whiskey Sneerson saying, what year was the lag 12? 2015? Yes. Yes. It was a 2015. And Rick M says, hello, Food Quig. Love your channel. I'm from Northern Ireland, and I'd love to see you review some more Irish whiskeys. Yes, I have some more coming up eventually. What have I got going now that's open? I've got some Quiet Man, some Knappogue Castle. I've done those already. Got some few more. Got some Yellow Spot. Got some Red Breast Cask Strength 12-year-old. Got some. What's that other one? Got some Kinahans and some Powers. And the next thing I'm going to pour is my Irish Infinity bottle. That's this one here. It's nothing but Irish whiskey in there. Every Irish whiskey that I've had in the last year and a half or so, there's some in this Infinity bottle. So I'll get to that next. John Conrad, cool shirt. Martinique, isn't that a Caribbean island? Drink a lot of good rum there, or would you find a decent whiskey? Okay, I was only in Martinique for like half a day. Went on a cruise. Yeah, this shirt is from Martinique. Went on a cruise, a 10-day cruise of the Caribbean. I hated the boat. I hated being on the boat. I kissed the ground every time we ended up on land. And Martinique was one of the places we got to. And got this T-shirt there. That's about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. Went with my ex when we were still together. I made videos about that, and they would be on my Feckwig channel. And if you look up Martinique, you can maybe find the videos from that trip. But I wasn't looking for whiskey. I was basically drinking beer at the time. And I wasn't there for very long. It was basically one afternoon. And we went ashore and we got on this tour bus and they took us all around. Was that Martinique? No, there was no tour bus in Martinique. That was in St. Martin. St. Martin, that's a place I like. But Martinique was, we ended up getting off the boat and walking a good distance. My ex had an electric scooter, and I ended up walking all the way to this town or city. And we were there for an afternoon. Didn't have any whiskey. Had a couple of beers. Maybe had a bite to eat. I don't know. All the locals were kind of astounded by my ex cruising around on an electric scooter. They thought it was a novelty. They wouldn't let her into the McDonald's because the McDonald's, they thought it was it's a motorized vehicle, yeah, but it's a scooter, to replace walking. Okay. Maybe if you review a rum, you will hit 100,000. I don't have any rum. I got some gin and tonic. I can maybe do that. Maybe. Sam's saying we should have a celebration when you reach 1,000. I'm going to recommend time subs for you. I don't understand what time subs is. Anyway, it'll come naturally anyway. I mean, I got this far. Donner Pass is saying, just finished running bourbon I had stored in a too warm place through a number 6 coffee filter. They threw a bunch of sediment. So far, so good. I think I saved them. Oh, running bourbon through a number 6 coffee filter. Okay, well, what happens to the bourbon? Do the proteins and stuff sort of congeal and come together? I don't know. How does that work? Oh, you think you saved them? Well, that's good. Sam Cox tried the Dalmore, about $120. Wasn't impressed. Well, which Dalmore was it? Was it like, there's some people who say that the 18 is great, even though it's colored and chill filtered and everything else. I had the Dalmore 12 once upon a time, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and it was all right, but it wasn't the best thing I've ever had. Oh. It starts off like a Canadian whiskey. Smooth and caramel. Smooth and caramel. It's like toffee. And then just after you swallow, the peat hits. I like that. That is so good. I would suggest everyone mixes up a batch of this. Wow. Mostly 40 Creek Copper Pot, this guy here. Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye. Like half a bottle of that stuff. And then some Crown Royal. And then 1 dram of Lag 8 or Lecheg 10. Or a dram of Ardbeg 10 or Lafroig 10 or Kalila 12. Something peaty. And it's just so good. Okay. So I hope that saved it. Yeah. So what I'm gonna read up if you answered me, I'll get to you. Okay. Donor Pass says just got an old Pulteney 21 for 140 US before it's gone forever. Oh, I'm envious. I'll tell you what. I saw it on the shelf, and I said, okay, I gotta make some money this week because it was over 200. It was like $230 or something, and I had to make the money to go buy it. So I worked all week. I made the money to go buy it. I went back to the shop, and I looked on the shelf where the 21-year-old old Pulteney used to be. And I said, what happened to the old Pulteney? And the guy at the till said, well, This family just came in here from Hong Kong or somewhere, and they bought all the old Pulteney I had. So I had to go elsewhere to find old Pulteney. I didn't find a 21, but I did find a 17. And now I'm still finding 17 on the shelf in the government store, so it's not impossible to get. But the 21, you scored, my friend. You scored. Totally scored. And Sam Cox is saying, I'm looking for a good, cheaper, everyday go-to scotch, thinking it might have to resort to the Glenlivet 12. There are alternatives to Glenlivet 12. Oh, there's Glenfiddich 12. There's Cragganmore 12. If you can get that cheap, that is fantastic. Another one that's a good daily drinker for me is Glengeary. Glengeary I can get for just over $50. It's not bad at all. It's got a lot of flavor. It's bottled at 48%. What more can you ask for? That's a poor man's heaven dram. It's Highland. I like Highland. Go for that one if you can. Glenlivet or Glenfiddich are pretty light. Oh, come on. I brought my water jug with me. This is just so that I don't have to get up and go to the other room to get some more water when my glass is empty. Okay. Oh, yeah. There are a lot of everyday go-tos. Don't discount blends. Some blends are fantastic. There's Famous Grouse. There's a whole range of Chivas Regal. There's a whole range of it. I can only get the 12 here, but there's a whole bunch. If you've been watching Jason Whiskey Wise, he's been doing a whole bunch of whiskeys from Chivas. And what else have I got over there? There's Johnny Walker. There's Johnny Walker Green. Johnny Walker Black. Pretty good for a daily drinker. And you can get things like the Singleton of Duffton. Here it's only $50. That's not bad. And I think it's a little more interesting than Glenlivet 12. Yeah. Glenlivet 12 is not the only daily drinker you can find. Whiskey Throttle says Smoky Pete, Whiskey by the Sea, and a beach fire in summer are awesome. Yes. Yes, they are. Raymaster saying to Donner Pass, how long did you store the bottle in a warm place? Oh, okay. That's a good question. And Mega John Conrad saying, just getting ready to finish my bottle of Glendronach Cask Strength Batch 2. Taste all the better since I randomly found 2 more bottles at a local liquor store. There you go. That's the way to do it. And Sam Cox agrees with Whiskey Throttle. Yeah, 100%. So we're talking about the peated whiskey there. 2 months. Not hot, just not cool. Interesting. That's what it is in here, not hot but not cool, and my bourbon seems to hold up. Whiskey Throttle saying to Sneerson, are you still drinking that 100 bushel? Wow, that went downhill quickly. Okay. Audio's perfect now. Okay, well that's good to know. Okay, good. Just wanted to get rid of the sediment. Oh, okay. I wonder what the sediment is made up of. Gotta stay hydrated. Let's take a sniff of this Port Charlotte 10 second edition. I think it's ready. Oh, delicious. I take a sip and it goes up my nose from inside. And I'm not getting so much to peat anymore because I think I'm acclimatized to the peat, having had some peat in this blend here. And my nose is plugging up. I don't know why. Maybe I'm allergic to something here. Oh, the flavor of that is just fabulous. Now we'll go for the other one that I had here. This was the Lagavulin 12. Oh, still nose is beautiful. Tiny little sip. Oh, the intensity of the flavor is just phenomenal. I'm going to add, as suggested, a little bit of water. Just a little bit. That should be sufficient. I'll get back to those later. Okay. Sneerson saying there is a bit of the 100 bushels in this Canadian Infinity bottle that I just poured. Puts it over the top. Maybe easier to say if there is one you don't like. Oh, there's not a troll traveling. There are some that I don't like, yes, but they are few and far between. Let's see, what don't I like? I must admit that I didn't like the Sperling Silver Moonshine. No, that was just harsh and rough. Another one that I didn't like was a Weems Spice King, 5 years old. It was a blended malt. I didn't like that. I don't like Jack Daniel's Old Number 7. Sorry, I just don't like it. What do I have here that I don't like? Canadian Club. It's so neutral. It's a mixer. I can't drink it straight and enjoy it. I'll drink it straight, yeah, if I want to get a buzz, but not to enjoy it. What did I not like? There are a few that I don't like. Yeah, there's a few. I once tried Weiser's Special Blend, which I'm going to review now because the last time I had this stuff was maybe 30 years ago. And I'm going to try it again and do it side by side with the Weiser's Deluxe, which was my whiskey of choice way back when I started drinking whiskey, but not seriously. I'd say, 35 years ago, 36 years ago, when I was old enough to finally drink. Okay. Now, Barry's saying, grew up in Tobermory, Ontario. Okay. They share the name with the distillery on the Isle of Mull, but I wonder if it's easy to get Tobermory whiskey there. It's not easy to get here. I've never seen an official bottle on the shelf. Donner Pass is saying 11 more to go for the 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, we're close. We're just on the brink. But one thing that's been happening to me, maybe 50 subscribers ago, I would gain 5 and then lose 5. And then I'd gain 5 in one day, and over the next week, those 5 would disappear. And then I'd gain 6, and then I'd lose 3 or 4. And then I'd gain 5, and then I'd lose 5. And I was getting notifications as to who was subscribing, and it was the same people over and over again, which I thought was really strange. Not that it matters anyway. And Raymaster saying, I know the feeling, too many good distilleries out there. Yeah, there are great ones. And there's some local ones too. I'm having an interesting time just keeping up with the local ones here on Vancouver Island. I just discovered another one that's just up the road from me here. That does it for my Canadian blend, which is spiked with some Lagavulin 8 and some Ledaig 10. I'm going to move on to my Irish blend now. And if you look at all the Irish whiskey videos that I did in the last year and a half, there's some of all of that in here because back in the winter and spring of 2017, I did a thing called the Irish Expansion, where I bought a whole bunch of Irish whiskeys that suddenly were available locally. And there's my Irish blend. From every Irish whiskey that I opened in the last year and a half, there's some of it in this. Sorry about the dirty glass, but I don't have any clean ones. And sounds good over there. No crackle for Tom R. No problems for Not a Troll. And Barry Dunham saying audio's good and audio's no crackle, sounds good. That's usually the way it is. Fabulous. Just the way I like it. Okay. Sorry, the crackling must have just been on my end. Okay. I meant I'll recommend some subs for you. Autocorrect gets me. Yeah, it gets me too, especially on my phone. Oh, hate it. Blind Whiskey Reviews saying to Tom R., what's up, my friend? I reviewed another rum for you. Oh, yeah, I think I saw that one. I'm only about a day behind now. Okay. I lost it again. There we are. Okay. And Sam's saying, can you give some details as to the Ben Romack Organic that you liked? Oh, okay. It's been a while. It's been over 3 years, I think, since I had Ben Romack Organic. But it's aged exclusively in virgin American oak. So you'll get that you'll taste the wood. You'll get the American oak, but then you get the malt from the Scotch. The malt in the American oak is just so well balanced. And you get so much flavor from the wood. A lot of flavor from the wood. I don't think it's aged. I still have the box of the tube here. It's a tube, yes. Organic. Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey. Ben Romack Organic. 100%. There's no age statement on it, so I don't know how old it is, but you get a lot of flavor from the wood, and the Ben Romack distillate is a beautiful whiskey to begin with. So The video's up. If you, I don't know how good it is. It was a long time ago, but I just liked it. Details. Um, just good whiskey. Imagine a Scotch aged the same way as a bourbon, same kind of wood. But of course, it will age more slowly, being aged in Scotland rather than Kentucky. I was just watching a thing by Whiskey Jason today. I think he put it up yesterday, where he had a bottle of 12-year-old Elijah Craig, which I still have here, by the way. And he had a bottle of, what's the name of this stuff again? The name is, it was an 8-year-old whiskey broker, Heaven Hill. So he's thinking, aha, Elijah Craig, I got to buy me a bottle of that. So he had to buy it from England and have it shipped over to Germany. And he put the two side by side, and the Elijah Craig 12 was a lot darker, and the Heaven Hill 8-year-old was a lot lighter. But that's because the Heaven Hill was aged in the UK, and the Elijah Craig was aged in Kentucky, where the temperature variations are greater, hot and cold, than in Scotland or England. So we have the two side by side, and they tasted completely different too. So if you've had something like Stranahan's, it's a little bit like that. It's a single malt aged in bourbon barrels. Virgin American oak, not bourbon barrels. Virgin American oak. Okay. That's the, Panoramic Organic. Love it. Raymaster saying, are you going down to the anniversary party for the Scotch Test Dummies later this year? You know, I would, except that what happened is that I go to a music festival of Irish music in a place called Ocean Shores, Washington. They have the largest Irish pub on the West Coast at this little town called Ocean Shores. It's like a resort town. They have a lot of hotels, and they have a lot of beach. You know, it's a lot of sandy beach and hotels, and they got a conference center and a large Irish pub. And I've been going to this thing for 3 or 4 years now in a row. And the week that music festival is happening, which I booked long before I found out about the Scotch Test Dummies anniversary party. I booked the hotel and I booked the trip. I booked, the tickets for the different venues long before the Scotch Test Dummies announced their birthday party. So I regret that I will not be able to make it to the birthday party this year. Next year, if they have one, maybe I'll be able to do it. But yeah, I can't make it. Those are great daily drams. Yeah, Sam, I think so. Whiskey Sneerson says, just made a quick blend of 40 Creek Premium, Northern Harvest, and a dash of Ardbeg Oogie. Thanks for reminding me of that blend, Quig. You're welcome, Sneerson. That should be interesting. 40 Creek Premium. Is that this one here? That's the Heritage that I have here. Another one that they have a lot of in the stores is the 40 Creek Double Barrel Reserve. They have a lot of that in the store. I could pick one up. Mind Whiskey Reviews. Okay. Daily drams. Okay. Yeah, I hope that works for you, Sneerson. That should be good. Blind Whiskey Review says, "Gotta run, fella. Have a good night." Okay, good night. If you're gone already, you're gone. John, don't run. Oh, we got 10 people watching. That's good. We got Fraser Henderson. I don't remember seeing that name, but I'm drinking Basil Hayden Dark Rye. It's even stranger than Dark Horse. Red as wine, port on the nose. Oh, maybe it's port finished. Dark Horse is not my favorite. I would rather have the Dark Horse without the additives, without the I think they put some bourbon in it, and they put some sherry in it. I don't think Basil Hayden Dark Rye. Strange. Oh, there's my Irish whiskey. Ah, that's nice. It's relatively light. I can taste the unmalted barley component in there, the malted and unmalted. Very good. My Irish Infinity is a decent, very decent representative of everything that you get out of Irish whiskey. It's very nice. It's pretty light on the nose. Oh, on the palate is where it blossoms. Getting that malted and unmalted barley, that a little bit spicy, a little bit of white pepper, and it's a little bit dry. It's a little bit astringent towards the end. I may add a bit of water to that as I go, but that's okay for a first couple sips. Yes. That is strange, Fraser. That is strange. I've never seen Basil Hayden's Dark Rye here, but I did find some Jim Beam Rye, which I hadn't seen before. I found that last night. I'll be trying that eventually someday. That's an interesting comparison. The Dark Horse, yeah, okay. Denver Donner Pass Whiskey says, uh-oh, firefighting, airplanes flying over the house. Hope it's not close. Keep cool. Just keep cool. And Whiskey Throttle saying, oh, damn, that's not good. Well, hopefully the fire's far away. Fraser likes Dark Horse and will probably like this stuff by the time it's gone. Oh, okay, so you have to get used to it. Let it open up for a while, I suppose. No, Dark Horse is not my favorite. When it comes to Alberta premium whiskeys, I'd rather just drink the regular 40% alcohol by volume Alberta premium. That stuff it's a low buck gem. It's fabulous. It may be bottom shelf, but it is good, very good. I prefer the 40% Alberta premium, just the regular Alberta premium, to the Dark Horse, which is bottled at 45. I just prefer the flavor profile. I'm not that big on, although I have learned to appreciate them, I am not that big on sherry and port finishes, with the exception of Quinta Rubin, which is just fantastic. I opened up a bottle of Allardyce 18 last night, and it's like, okay, it's fruity. Where's the spice? Where's the peat? That's just me. Towards the end of the dram, I was more appreciative of what it is, because it is complex in that every time you take a sniff or every time you take a sip, you're getting something different, even though it's all fruit. Okay. The airport near me has a big unit of them, so they often travel far to fight fires. Oh, well, that's a relief. Jay Fretless at dinner past you in Truckee. Oh, okay. We're talking about Hey Fretless says Sneerson, and Donner Pass says live near Grass Valley but work at Donner Pass. Okay, well, hence the name. And Jay Fretless says hey to Sneerson, and Whiskey Throttle says hey dude to Jay Fretless. Jay Fretless says to Donner Pass, got it. Okay. Whiskey Throttle says Jay Fretless. Whiskey Throttle says to me, don't worry about those subs. I'm not worried. I got this many. I'll get some more. I don't care. For a while there, in the last 100, like I was saying, I'd gain a few, lose a few, gain a few, lose a few. But generally, the trend has been gaining, even though I'll gain, 5 and lose 3. So what? Okay, I've gained 2. And besides, if they unsubscribe from me, they probably don't appreciate what I'm doing. And I don't want people watching me who don't appreciate what I'm doing. That's okay. You're free to choose who you want to watch. I'm not going to make you watch me or stop you from watching me. This is self-selecting. Barry saying, had to get my Tobermory 10 in the States. Haven't gotten around to trying Lecheag yet. Well, I did get Tobermory, but only I did mention that already, that it's an independent bottling. But Lecheag is nice. I should drink it more. Maybe in fall when it gets a little cooler out. Have you recently had the Cardew 12? I'm particularly interested in the tasting you had, which was especially malty. The Cardew 12 that I had recently, well, let's say it's been about 3 years. It's very malty. That's another one. That's another one of those daily drinkers that you could get into. Cardew 12 is very nice. I would go for it. It's not expensive. It's about $55 here in BC. That means it's probably cheaper everywhere else. Yeah. The last time I had Cardew 12 was quite a while ago. So many whiskeys. I should get me another bottle. But last night I found some Legacy, and if I find something that I've had before that I liked and it's been discontinued, I buy it on the spot, especially if there's only one on the shelf. Donner Pass is saying, just got a Balblair 1999 second release. It's good. Not sure if it is worth 110, but I have had good luck with the cheaper 12s I've gotten. So maybe I'm spoiled. Yeah, that's one thing that can happen. You can get spoiled. Oh, there's Ben Lego. Want to chat after you're done? Sure. Be glad to. Sure. I will call you since you're on. Sam Cox is saying, one thing I can say without question is you have great taste in Scotch. I have some friends who claim they love Scotch, but it's just so they can get drunk. They just down it like in the movies. Then you know you aren't dealing with a true Scotch lover. And Lego's free all night. Very good. Excellent. Hey, Ben, says Sam. And Fraser's saying, I always have Alberta Premium and a spare. Yes. Yes. Always. Same here. There's always some on my shelf. It's so cheap and easy to find. It's everywhere. And it's damn good. Now, I've tried other things recently. Or in the last while, having to do with Alberta Premium. There's a company down in the States that bottles this stuff called Masterson's. And Masterson's is basically Alberta Premium, but bottled at 45% alcohol by volume and selling here for $124 or something like that. Where the Alberta Premium I can get for like $28 out the door. And I tried Whistle Pig recently. The video will be coming up in this coming week. The Whistle Pig 10. And that's basically Alberta Premium too. But it's aged, I think it's aged in Vermont. So it's a different different aging. But that Whistle Pig here would cost like $150, where I can get my Alberta Premium for $20, $28 out the door. So, hey, Alberta Premium is a winner. Jay Fretless is saying, KL Wines in California is blowing out Cutty Sark Prohibition at $14.99. Probably don't ship to Canada, so it won't help you, but might help someone. Hell yeah. Hell, $14.99? Fabulous. I can get it here for a little more than double that, but they're Canadian dollars too. So, but if they're selling Cutty Sark Prohibition for $14.99, that is a steal. Definitely. Stephen Lang says, hey, Andy, how's your weekend going? Going great right now. My weekend started out, I came home after working Thursday night, and I went to sleep in the morning. I think I poured one dram, and halfway through the first dram, I got sleepy. So I went into the bed that's right there, and I slept till 4 in the afternoon. So from about 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. In the evening, I went out and did my groceries and bought some whiskey and stuff. Came home in the evening, made 3 whiskey videos. I was having problems with my iMovie. So the third one, the last one that I tried, I was having trouble. So if you see a video of me complaining about the my equipment or my software, that will be it. And I'll be, I think I did a decent job of talking about the whiskey, even though I was kind of pissed off that it didn't record, or I had finished recording and I just pressed stop and I pressed close. When you press close, it's supposed to just save the video and then you can edit it. It didn't save it. What happened when I pressed close, it just shut off completely the iMovie software and didn't save the 26 minutes of tasting whiskey that I did. But I digress, don't I? So my weekend's going good now. Today I woke up, I talked with my mother for a couple hours, and then I started watching videos and saw Swami driving through Monument Valley on his motorcycle. And I got little glimpses of Monument Valley from the reflection on his visor when he put his head down. So you could see Monument Valley from his visor. But basically all you see is him shaking like this on his motorcycle. That's how my weekend's going. It's going good. I'm having a good time right now. I'm enjoying it with you guys, Donner Pass is saying, Roy Aquavite describes you as basically the Yoda of being able to sit down with and analyze the flavors in a whiskey. Do like to see what you think of Scotch before I buy it. Well, there you go. At least I don't put my words in the wrong order. Isn't that what Yoda does? You whiskey are liking? Let's put a little bit of water in this delicious Irish blend that I have going. Oh, this brings out a lot more on the nose with some water in there. Oh, wow. That is nice. It's fresh. It's like a spring day in Ireland. Man, yes, but I like it too. Yeah, the whole scene. Oh, yeah. A little more caramel, a little less spice. I'm getting something floral too. Interesting. Very interesting. Uh, sometimes, sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I'm not. I have my on days and off days. So, occasionally I hit it right on the money when it comes to tasting on the spot. And Sam Cox says, talk about spoiled. I can no longer drink grain whiskey, Scotch blends anymore. Only single malts. Yeah. That's one of the dangers. But I always like to go around and try different things. I'm not a rich man, so I like to keep a lot of things like Alberta Premium Alberta Premium and Golden Wedding and Hiram Walker Special Old and Wiser's Deluxe and Glen Grant, Grant's Finest, Doers, Johnny Walker. Yeah. I can drink blends. It doesn't bother me to drink a blend, especially if it's a really good one, like Famous Grouse Smoky Black. Famous Grouse Smoky Black is fantastic. Or Cuddy Sark Prohibition, another one of my favorites. I should get another bottle because I ran out. I drank the last of that a few weeks ago. Actually, I drank the last of that when I was camping a month ago. Got to get some more. It's not expensive. But I found the Weiser's Legacy last night. Couldn't pass that up. And I still got a full bottle of this 40 Creek Copper Pot. Good stuff. Very good stuff. So, nothing wrong with that. Sorry, didn't get your email. Last week's been crazy, and I've been sleeping a ton. I understand, Ben. That's okay. As long as you're on tonight, I don't mind. That's okay. I've heard a lot about Eagle Rare Bourbon. What are your thoughts on it? Definitely good. If you've tried Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare is Buffalo Trace plus a whole lot more. Eagle Rare is nice. Very, very nice. Another one I want to get my hands on, Rock Oyster. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to find the one that I did, the sherry cask Rock Oyster, because that one was a limited release. However, I do have the regular Rock Oyster, and I'm going to be doing that one eventually. It's in my great big pile of whiskey that I haven't tried yet. So I will be tasting that. Rock Oyster is nice too. It's all the islands kind of blended together. And that's one that I haven't done. I haven't done an infinity bottle from the islands. I have an Isla, but not the islands. Okay. Where are we now? Rock Oyster. Yeah, Sam, you'd like that. How much longer are you going to go for? Well, at the moment, I'm drinking this one here. This Glendalough. It's not Glendalough anymore. It's my Irish blend. I got a little bit left. And this one is the Isla Infinity. I'm going to try that one. And I'm just going to finish up my little comparison here between the Port Charlotte 10 second limited edition and the 12-year-old Lagavulin. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, yeah. So I don't know, give me another hour, something like that. Yeah, that's how much longer I'll be going on, Ben. I hope that's not too long for you. Though I hear conflicting things about Rock Oyster. Oh, Sam, well, sometimes you got to let yourself decide, just for example, I watched a lot of videos by people like Rob from Whiskey and the Six, whose palate and mine don't necessarily agree so much, and Swami from Malton in Montreal. And around Christmas time, they were singing the praises of the 18-year-old Glendronach Allardyce, and that it's the cat's ass, and it's like the be-all and end-all. It's fantastic and wonderful and great, and so on. I bought a bottle, and I did the video last night. Because of all the praises that they were singing, I was expecting a lot more from it than I got. Basically, it's all fruit. And the fruits change as you go, so it's got some complexity to it. But it's all fruit. There's no spice. There's no peat. There's nothing to balance the fruit. It's all fruit. So you gotta love that sherry cask, that fruit thing. And if you can't stand peat, and if you can't stand spices, then it's the cat's ass. But if you like something a little spicy, you like something with some peat in there, you like some flavors to contrast with the fruits from the sherry cask, it is what it is. It's a good whiskey. Don't get me wrong. It's a good whiskey, but it's not exactly the kind of thing that I would first reach for. I would reach for this first, and this is the 12-year-old Lagavulin, or the 10-year-old Port Charlotte. Along with the delicious peat and the fruitiness here, I just got a blast of Seaside, of salt, of brine. Oh, this is just so good. Lagavulin 12, 2015 edition. Fabulous. Yeah, sometimes you got to let your own taste decide. You can't take, or if you know someone who does whiskey videos, who reviews whiskey, and if your tastes are similar to that person who does these reviews, if your tastes are similar, you can usually go by what they say. You just have to find out who has similar nose and a similar palate to you. And, there's some people whose assessments I will trust to some extent. And there's some people who I know who have a totally different take on whiskey than I do. So I will listen to what they say, but I will not necessarily take it to heart and say, okay, I got to try that. Because you say this about it, I got to try it and get my own take, my own spin on it. I'm not going to trust everything you say, but I'm going to try it. And then when I've tried it, I know, okay, I'm going to get this again. If it's something that I like, I will get it again. If I don't like it quite so much, I'll get something else instead next time. There's a few whiskeys that I will buy over and over and over. Absolutely. There are a few. But there are more whiskeys that I won't buy again, even though they may be excellent. I won't buy them again because they're not exactly, as the expression goes, in my wheelhouse. Okay. Fraser saying Alberta Distillers has huge volume, a really large distiller. Well, that's good. We won't ever run out. Okay. And have you tried anything from Wayward Distillation? They make products from honey molasses. No, never heard of them. This is the first time, Fraser. Where do I get this stuff? Steven says, excellent. Enjoying some Freud Triplewood. It's absolutely outstanding. Yes, sir. No, tell me more about this, Fraser, about this Wayward Distillation. Where are they located? And what do they make? Okay, products from honey molasses. So we're talking basically mead. Maybe not mead, but distilled mead. I don't know, man. I've never heard of this stuff. I'd have to look them up. I've never tried them, sorry. BRW 1973. Hey, Foodquig. Trust you are well. I'm still getting over the vertigo, so no whiskey drinking since April. I'm dying of thirst. Oh my goodness. Vertigo. That doesn't sound like fun at all. Sam Cox is saying, Bowmore 15 is like a weak Lafroy Triplewood. And Sam Cox is asking, is Eagle Rare better than Elijah Craig 12? Eagle Rare is 10 years old. Elijah Craig is 12. So they're comparable in age. You'll get more of that rye and more of that more strength out of the 12, the Elijah Craig 12. The flavors are different. Get more brown sugar there and a little less in the Eagle Rare. The Eagle Rare, they're both excellent whiskeys. I would say that the Eagle Rare is a little easier to drink. The Elijah Craig 12 is like you got to take smaller sips because there's a lot going on there and it's kind of heavy. Where the Eagle Rare goes down easy. Depends what you're interested in. I like both of them a lot. Which reminds me, I should get a bottle of Eagle Rare soon. Because I like it. But I do have a lot of bourbons to try. And I do have a fair amount of them that are not open yet, but that I've tried already. I will get to them. Okay. I wouldn't say that Eagle Rare is better than Elijah Craig 12. I'd say they're both equally good but different. I like them both. Donna Pass is saying to Sam Cox, if you can get Elijah Craig 12, it's above Eagle Rare. That's what he says. And Ben says, no problem, don't want to cut off all these guys. Okay, right. So I'm a little behind what's going on. That is true what you say. I shouldn't be too influenced by other people's taste. Aha, there you go. You can't. You have to go on your own. I lost you guys now. Yeah, you have to judge for yourself. Some people have different tastes. Exactly. Okay. I think it's Whiskey Wednesday who scared me off. I like his reviews, but he says almost about every whiskey he has that it has a short finish. Huh. Well, I want to read one to you. Here's the tube from the Allardyce, Glendronach Allardyce. And you might get a hoot out of this one. There were tasting notes on this. Maybe it's on the bottle. I have to read this to you. It's just too much. Just got to find it first. All right. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me put this back on the wall. This is marketing extraordinaire. I had to almost laugh when I read this. Appearance. Bright deep gold with a tawny center. Nose. Lovely and sweet. Fudge. Fruit compote and Glacier Morello cherries. Fabulous complexity. That's on the nose. Now, I didn't get the fudge. And I got a bit of cherry and a lot of fruit. I didn't get the fudge. And yeah, okay. So, palate. Remarkable flavors of stewed fruits and allspice. I got a lot of fruits, but I didn't get any spice at all. Aged Oloroso and toasted walnut bread combined with chocolate orange. I got a bit of orange, a little bit of chocolate, but not much. I didn't get any bread. And finished tremendously complex and long. There was fruit, and then the fruit was gone. The kind of finishes that hang on for me are spices and peat. That would be a long finish. But just the way this is worded, it's meant to sell you the whiskey. I bought the whiskey already, but I find tasting notes to be very misleading because I didn't taste any spice at all. And I got a little bit of orange and a little chocolate, but I didn't get a chocolate orange. And I didn't get that long a finish. It didn't hang on for me. So, where are we at? Yeah, don't be influenced by tasting notes either. And there you go. You were listening to Whiskey Wednesday and going by what he says. 8 hours of boom with Quig. I don't think I'll go that long. We've been going almost 2 hours now. I got a life too. I got some videos to catch up on, and I promised Ben that I would have a chat with him for a while. And Kevin is saying, evening all. Evening, Kevin. How's it going, my man, says Sneerson. Donner Pass is saying, interesting on the Glendronach 18 as it is expensive. Maybe I will save money and just keep on getting Aberlour Abunad. Well, tell you what, it's not a bad idea to try something at least once. Okay, I'm trying the Glendronach 18 based on what was said by Swami and Rob, but I probably will not buy it again at that price. I won't buy it again. And it probably won't be available anyway. So I got to try it once. Okay. So I blew $200. What's that in a lifetime? Not a big deal. No, it is expensive, yeah. If you want to save money, yeah, don't buy Glendronach 18. Buy Glendronach 12. I think it'll give you almost as much in the way of satisfaction, and you'll be spending half the money. And Kevin's saying to Sneerson, everything's good, my man. And Ben says, hey, at Whiskey Sneerson. And Kevin says, hope you're enjoying a nice cigar and a whiskey tonight. I stopped smoking years ago. But there you go. Ben R., moderator. I could do that again, but I don't think Ben appreciated it. Just saying. And Sneerson saying, yep, already had a Cuban and a rum, onto whiskey now. Canadian blends. There you go. Canadian blends. Well, how's our Irish doing here? Let's see. Ben says, not anymore. Quig said we don't need one unless shit hits the fan. Well, the shit hasn't hit the fan yet. We're doing good. We got 13 people watching. I'm sitting here enjoying a few drams. And which Cuban and rum? Okay, that's Kevin saying, oh, his Swami's here. Good to see you, Swami. How's the ride? Sneerson says, Guantanamera, Cristales, and a Havana Club 7-year-old. Fantastic. And Bourbon Journey says, hey, Quig. Hey, Bourbon Journey. Good to see you, John. Sneerson says, hi, Swami, and we got some people coming in here. Kevin says, Canadians get so ripped off with Cubans. Makes me so angry. And Whiskey Throttle says, to Food Quig, Eagle Rare single barrel is good. Yeah. Oh, there's a single barrel version too? I like Eagle Rare. It's fantastic. And Swami says, hey to Sneerson. And Bourbon Journey says to Whiskey Throttle, hey, Dan. Whiskey Throttle, mounted in Montreal, laughing out, peak in the Grand Canyon. Ben's asking Whiskey Throttle if he's at work. Okay, now I've lost my place again. Okay, shit. This thing, you touch it the wrong way and it just goes down. Okay, I think I am where I was. Whiskey Throttle says to Bourbon Journey, hello. Bourbon Journey says to Malton in Montreal, hey, Swami, hope the trip is going well. Looks like it. Seen you shaking on your bike. No, just got home, says Whiskey Throttle. Malton says, hey, Scott and Daniel. Wait, okay. Whiskey Sneerson saying to Kevin, I order from Hong Kong and Switzerland, so not too bad price-wise for Cubans. Oh, interesting. Now we're talking cigars, I think, yeah. Ben says to Whiskey Throttle, cool, time to relax. Yep. Quig, only 10 away from 1,000. Yes, Swami, I'm getting there. I'm biting at your heels. Bourbon Journey says, big thank you to all you guys who have helped me get to 800 subscribers. Really appreciate all the love. Oh, for sure. That's what it is. It's a great big love-in we got here. Sam Cox says, hey, M in M, malted in Montreal, I guess, yeah. Kevin says, I've been thinking about ordering from Cigars International. Hey, Sam, says malted in Montreal. And Sam says, on another note, the Johnny Walker Black has caught my attention for daily sippers. Just wondering if the grain in it really comes through, in which case it's a no-no. All I can say is you got to try it for yourself. My favorite Johnny Walker is still the green label. It's all malt. It's all malt whiskey. It's just blended malt whiskey. And last night I had occasion to try this one here, although it is a limited release, and you probably can't find it. This is the Johnnie Walker Blender's Batch. It's very interesting in that it has notes of it was aged like a Johnnie Walker usually is, but then it was finished in ex-rye barrels. And so it's got some of that American whiskey thing going on. Reminds me of back when I smoked many years ago. You had Players, and then you had a thing called Players Special Blend. Players Special Blend basically had the tobacco mixed from Canadian leaf and American leaf. So American cigarettes, if you've been a smoker, you know that American cigarettes taste way different from Canadian cigarettes. But these cigarettes were a mixture of the two, the American leaf and the Canadian leaf, and it was all blended together. And that's what this reminds me of, because it's a blended Scotch to begin with, but then it's finished in ex-rye barrels. So it's got some elements of an American rye and some elements of a Scotch blended whiskey. The nose is fabulous. You've got everything from Scotch and rye, and it just grabs you on all levels. The taste, I'm still waiting for it to open up. I just started it, okay? And it needs, I can't really say, it tastes like nothing yet. I'm waiting for it to open up a little. But, you know, there's your Blender's Batch, Johnnie Walker. Try it. Try a miniature if you can find one. If you don't like it, it's not a big deal. Let's see now. Of the Johnnie Walker range, I would say that the black is the second best, from my perspective, of the ones that I've tried. The green is my favorite. Or you can go for some other blends. If you're not into grain, other blends of malt blends, like the Johnnie Walker Green. Then there's Monkey Shoulder, but I'm not too crazy about Monkey Shoulder. There's other ones out there. Do I have any right now? Compass Box. Look to Compass Box. You might find some of their less expensive versions to be to your liking. And Kevin is saying the Allardyce is going up to 209 in Ontario. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. Plus taxes? Feh. Lego Ben says, guess what has me sad? Pennsylvania now puts a sales tax on online purchases. You want to hear a good one, Ben? Of any kind? Well, Malted Man Cave, Keith, sent me some samples of whiskey, but he had marked on the box antique figurines. Okay, antique figurines. So like 2 weeks ago, or is it almost 3 weeks now, a man knocked on my door right there and handed me the box. So I took the box. I have the box. It's got whiskey samples in it. And I thought, end of story. No, it's not the end of the story. Here's what happened. I received a letter just a couple days ago, and the letter says, It was from Federal Express. It says, "We have paid customs on your behalf to clear your parcel into Canada. You owe us $16.34 for the clearing of the package through customs." So not only did Keith have to pay Federal Express, I don't know how much he paid, but it was probably not cheap to send these 6 or 7 samples of whiskey to me. But then I had to pay customs to clear it into the country 3 weeks after I received a package at my door right there. What does the world come to? It's not just Pennsylvania. It's everywhere, Ben. It's everywhere. They're all greedy. They all want a piece of everything we do. Allardyce is around 170 in Montreal. Yeah, here too. But the thing is, Swami, then they add the tax. Does it work that way at the SAC? Is the price tag that you see on the shelf the price you pay at the cash, or do they add like Quebec sales tax and GST and all that other shit to it? I wonder. Okay. Kevin says the Parliament is going up to 280. Crazy. That's too much. And there's Don Holland saying, "Hello, all good men." Hello, Don Holland. Slanchima. Good to have you with us. Oh, I should drink when I toast, right? Oh, I made a good blend here. This is my Irish blend. It's in a Glendalough bottle, but it says Irish blend. And there's a little infinity at the bottom, if you can see that there. All right. Malted in Montreal. Parliament is 205. Yeah. Plus tax, probably. Hey, Don Holland. Hope you're having a good one, says Ben. Kevin's moving to Montreal. You can move to Montreal all you want. I think I'm going to move to Alberta. They don't have whiskey there. No, they don't. Don Holland says, WS, great man. Oh, Whiskey Sneerson. Okay. Malted in Montreal says, Quig, I don't think you like Oloroso sherried whiskeys. I'll tell you what. I don't hate them, but if I have a choice, I would prefer something that has Oloroso and peat, or Oloroso and ex-bourbon blended. But if it's plain Oloroso, or if it's plain sherry, I don't hate it like I did when I first tried it, but I don't love it like I like something. Okay, I like peated whiskeys. Don't get me wrong. I like peated whiskeys. But if there's some sherry component to it that makes it more interesting, that the two can balance each other, I like that. I like the balance. But if it's just pure sherry, like that sample I sent you from Cavalan, that Cavalan Solist sherry, it's nothing but sherry. And I was very disappointed with that one. I would not buy it again. I might go for the Cavalan bourbon something or other if I'm feeling rich sometime. But I've pretty much given up on. I have some Concertmaster here from Cavalan. That's good too. It's better than the Solist sherry, which costs twice as much. So, sherry is not the be-all and end-all for me. I like rye. I like blended Canadian whiskey. I like peated stuff. I like Highland stuff. But if it's completely Oloroso, it's not quite my, yeah. I like it, but I don't love it. How's that? Donner Pass says to Moulton in Montreal, where are you now? Williams, Arizona. Okay. It's a tourist trap, laughing out loud. Ben says to Montreal, same thing in Oatman. Okay. Sneerson says, hey, Don Holland, what's in the glass? Donner Pass says to Moulton in Montreal, just enjoy the pool and drink whiskey. That sounds good. I would do that too, but I don't have a pool. Hope you're enjoying your trip, Swami, and getting ready for Vegas tomorrow. Oh, excellent. So where are you staying in Vegas? I've been down there a few times. Have you seen Stag Junior sold here in Canada, or is it just available in the States? Well, I don't know about your part of Canada there, Stephen, but I've never seen it here. I've seen it in Seattle, and when I saw it in Seattle, I bought it in Seattle, but I've never seen Stag Junior here. Our bourbon selection in British Columbia is very limited. And it seems that we're getting the bottom shelf stuff because the top shelf stuff doesn't get beyond the borders of the USA. However, it does make its way to Europe somehow, but I don't see it here in British Columbia. So yeah, you got to go stateside to get that. Anytime you're going stateside for more than 48 hours, go to a liquor store, see if you can find it. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Don Holland says, nothing yet, doing laundry. Wait, I have a PD Mini. Whoa. Oh, he's not drinking anything. Ben Lego says, my dryer broke, so it's all air dried for now. And Throttle's asking Don, how's it going? And Whiskey Throttle says to Stephen, we have it in Alberta. Yes. Oh, you have it in Alberta, you sons of bitches. You have it in Alberta. Okay, well, I don't see it in BC, or at least I don't see it on the Vancouver Island. Way to go. I'm moving to Alberta. There you go. I'm going to do that. Whiskey Throttle, thanks. Okay. Also think my business is going defunct. Oh, shit. Hate when that happens. We're having fun with business, too. Whoa, almost spilt that. Didn't happen. Good. WS, are you home tonight? Whiskey Throttle says, try Black Bull from Duncan Taylor. Okay, I haven't seen that one yet. I'm going to have to look around. Black Bull. Heard of it, but I've never seen it here. Let me pour some more water here. Yeah, we got some more water. Black Bull from Duncan Taylor. No, never seen that. I'll have to travel some more. Just poured a Maker's Mark, says Sneerson. And Swami saying, Quig, taxes included. Shit, really? That's nice. That is correct. There is no whiskey in Alberta. No, none. That's why I'm moving there. I got to get off this whiskey habit. I got to stop being an alcoholic. There you go. Lagavulin 12 in the glass from the Mystery Mini. Well, I got a little bit of 12 2015 here. And Swami didn't like the Solist at all either. No, it was not my favorite either. But, you know, I did. There you go. The 12. The 2015 version of the 12 with a few drops of water. Oh, you are so beautiful. And we got the Port Charlotte 10. which is also very good. But the Lagavulin 12 takes the prize. It just takes the prize. Okay, where are we now? Nice, Don. Good pick. Swami staying in the Flamingo. Last time I was down there, I stayed at the what was it called? The Rio, just off the Strip. Did I hear you say earlier that you're planning a trip to Scotland? Take me. Yeah, Sam, I've already booked. I've already booked a tour of Islay, which will be happening starting on the 29th and ending on the 29th of March and ending on the 1st of April. My flight leaves here on the 23rd of March, and I'll be back on the 5th of April, something like that. So I'll be gone almost 2 weeks. It's going to be a quick jump to Scotland, hang out with Jason in London. He's going to show me around and take me to all his favorite bars in London. And then I'm going to take a train up to Edinburgh, where I'll get on a tour bus, which will go to Islay. Something similar to the tour that Eric Waite went on, but not identical. Very, very, very similar, just from a different tour company. And then when I get back to Edinburgh, I probably will take a train to Glasgow, and hopefully Roy will have a bit of time to spend with me and go to places like Glengoyne and that distillery there in Glasgow, the Auchentoshan. And maybe visit those two places and a few bars and places to go drink, and that's what. And then after doing the Glasgow thing, I take a train back to London, and then fly back home. Yeah. That is the trip, and I've got my plane tickets, and I've got my ticket for the Islay trip already. The only thing I have to do is find accommodation when I'm there. So I got to save some money. I got to buy less whiskey so that I can do this. But the flight and the Islay trip are already paid. It's not a problem. Where are we now? That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Same is pretty much true here for Canadian whiskey. Okay, so you can't get Canadian whiskey like we can't get bourbon. Yeah. We only see the mediocre stuff. Correct. There you go. Prince Fatality Vegeta. I've never seen this name before. You did good. Whiskey in the Six. Hey, there he is. A6. Yeah. Okay. Prince Fatality Vegeta is a DBX Vegeta. What? It's a bug base. Okay, now I'm lost. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think the Lag 12 will be your whiskey of the decade. And you should do a full lag comparison. Oh, my God. I have to buy a lot of Lagavulin now. This is the only Lagavulin I got, the 12. I'd have to buy others to do a comparison. Okay. Lego says you remind me of Smoke at Prince. What? Never mind then. Okay. Wow, that is awesome. Enjoy that trip. I remember you saying that was your dream to go there. It is. It really is. And Prince Fatality loved the Lag 12. Okay. Sam Cox says, you'll come back with a heightened and renewed appreciation for whiskey. I hope so. That would be nice. Would love a Scotland trip maybe someday. Yeah, well, I'm doing it now, and who knows, this may be my last big trip. Mm. That was the Port Charlotte 10, second edition. Oh, it's giving me a hug now. It's giving me a hug right down the esophagus. And the Irish, when the glass is almost empty from the Irish whiskey, I'm getting milk chocolate on the nose. With an empty glass, there's like a drop left in there. Chocolate on the nose. Sam Cox says, I'd love to do a side-by-side with Lag 8, 12, and 16 and distillers. Well, Sam, I'm sure the 12 would. The 12 and the distillers would be right up there. I think the 12 would beat out the distillers just because of the higher ABV. And Prince Fatality says, haven't had the Lag 8 yet. The Lag 8 is just very strong peat. That's nice. It's just very up for a ring in 11:30 EST. Whiskey Sneerson. Okay. 11:30. That would be about an hour and a half from now, I think. Yeah, something like that. Don't get into any wee brawls in Scotland. No, what for? I'll just say I come here to be with such great people like yourself. And that's the defense I used when I first got to Victoria and some guy tried to pick a fight with me. He said, you talk funny. You don't talk like we do here. He said, that's right. I'm not from here. He says, where are you from? I said, well, I'm from Montreal. He says, well, go back, Frenchman. And I said, well, I came here to be with such great people as yourself. And that just floored him. He didn't know what to say. And I'm not even French. I'm just from there. Prince Fatality says, I like strong peat. I'll search for it, but not easy to find around here. Is it a dual version peat? I don't understand that comment there, Ben, but okay, it looks like I've caught up with the chat, which is a rare thing for me. I don't often catch up with the chat. Okay, we had the Irish. We had the Port Charlotte 10 second edition. We're having the Lagavulin 12. Oh, that sun is getting warm. Got to lean forward so I'm not in the total brightness. If you'll excuse me for a moment, this water and this whiskey is getting to my bladder. I will be back shortly and I'll be able to come back to, well, maybe there will be some more comments on there I can get to you. I'll be back. Oh, yeah. What a lovely afternoon we're having. To get back to you all on the side-by-side here with the 10-year-old Port Charlotte and the 12-year-old Lagavulin. 12-year-old Lagavulin all the way. Although the Port Charlotte is a good dram, and it costs somewhat less than the Lagavulin 12. There you go. Islay Infinity. This is my Islay Infinity bottle that I started about a year and a half ago. Any Islay whiskey that I had in the last year and a half is going to be in this one. And that includes the ones that are not peated, like the Kalila 15 and the Kalila 17 that are unpeated. They're in there too. So this might be a gentler peat than like a Laphroaig 10, because there's some Laphroaig 18 and some Laphroaig 15 and some Laphroaig 8. There's some Lagavulin 12. There's some Lagavulin 8. There's some Lagavulin Distillers Edition. There's so many things in here. There's even some peat reek. But now I'm not getting so much because it might be a gentler peat than what I just drank. And what I just drank was from the that is sublime. I'm just going to move the drapes over a little bit because that's shining right on the side of my head. Yeah, that might be a little better. Oh, a little better. Little better. Okay. So is there a heavily seated? I mean, good job. Prince Fatality says, I think the Lag 8 is just Lag 8. Talking to Ben. Okay. Suncock says, which would I start with? Lag 16, Laphroaig 10, Ardbeg 12, Kalila 12, or Laphroaig Carchas? I don't know which Carchas you have. Oh. Well, if those are the things you have, I would probably go Laphroaig 10 first. Then I'd go Kalila 12, Ardbeg 12, and follow it with maybe the Lag 16 third. I don't know. Usually what I do is I start with different things. Like I start with a Speyside or a Highland or a Canadian whiskey, and then I move my way up towards the peated. And my last whiskey is going to be the peated one. Go with the gently peated one first and then go with the stronger one? I don't know. I would generally not have those four in the same flight. But that's just me. Really liked the Lag 2015 review. Yeah, that's the one I just did recently. Yeah. Or the one that went up recently. Been a couple weeks since I did it. Lag 8 has an exciting, beautiful nose, but the palate is a bit lacking. Yeah, that's Lag 8. That's a tad one-dimensional. It's peat, and there's nothing to balance it. It's all right, you know. My bottle was good. But you know something? This Islay Infinity that I have going here is really nice. Mm. Ah, there's some sherry. There's some peat. And there's some of that maritime saltiness. And spiciness. There's a bit of spiciness there too. Some of that, no doubt, is from the 15-year-old Caol Ila and the 17-year-old Caol Ila. Strangely enough, I find the 15-year-old Caol Ila much nicer than the 17, and those are both unpeated. There's some Caol Ila 12 in there as well, which is peated. There is some Lagavulin, Laphroaig, Ardbeg. There's everything in there, including Ardbeg Kelpie. Wow. I'm not getting the peat so much now because the peat, I've been drinking peat for a little while now, so there's I'm already desensitized from the peat. Oh, deliciousness. And Whiskey Sneerson picked up a Johnnie Walker Green a few weeks ago on my recommendation. Amazingly good stuff. Yes. Cutty Prohibition is another great blend. Picked up a couple bottles in Manitoba, not available there. Way to go. And Prince Fatality says, Walker Green is my favorite Johnnie Walker. I'm with you on that one. We're on the same page. That's the best Johnnie Walker, in my opinion. Good picks, says Don Holland. And Whiskey Sneerson says, good taste. Lego says, 3 hours. Wish I was here for the beginning. Oh, you can always go back and look at it. Looks sunny in Victoria. Yeah, it's bright. I don't think there's any clouds in the sky. Let me have a look out the door. Let me just turn that a little bit that way. Yeah, it's awkward. Oh yeah, it's sunny all right. There's not a cloud anywhere. There's not a cloud anywhere. Now I've turned the blinds a little bit so it won't be shining on me. And yeah, it is sunny. There's not a cloud anywhere. And it's warm out there too. I've got the air conditioning trying to keep up with everything. The air conditioning is in the window in the kitchen in the other room, and it's working full blast just to keep it comfortable in here. I don't know. What is the temperature? Let's find out. I've got my little thing right here. Ooh. .72 Fahrenheit, so it's just keeping up. I like to keep it a degree or two colder than this, but 72 Fahrenheit I can live with. You know, if not for the air conditioning, it would be 85 Fahrenheit in here. It would be terrible. There you go. Heavily peated, not seeded. Damn autocorrect. Whiskey Sneerson, need to take a couple months off buying whiskey. Picked up quite a few Weiser's Legacy, Weiser's 2018 commemorative bottles, really good stuff. Need to save for Northern Borders Collection Part 2. Don't get me started on that. I'm buying up what I can. Anything I haven't tried, I buy it. Yeah. I have one Legacy, which I picked up last night. I got some Wiser's double still. I also have some triple barrel. I got some 40 Creek. Got some 90. Got some Lot 40 cast strength. Got two Elijah Craigs. Got a Wild Turkey 101. Got a Glenglassaugh Torfa. And these are all things that I've tried before, but they're extra bottles for later. Things that I haven't tried, there's so many things on the list. I'm going to have to do an update on what's under my bar someday. Okay. I even got one of those parallel 49s or whatever it's called. Let's not forget about the Glenglassaugh. Amazing. Yes, I did get a Torfa. I got one. And I have a couple other bottles of Glenglassaugh going at the moment. They're fantastic stuff. You know, maybe that's my favorite distillery right now. Since somebody asked me, what are my favorite three? Glenglassaugh is up there. Yeah. Glenglassaugh Turf. Well, we got 9 people watching, which is cool. I'm just going to finish up this Isla Infinity as I go. Yeah, Glenglassaugh Torfa. Fantastic. I'm going to hold off opening that one for a while because I've got enough Highlands on the go right now. I got some Fettercairn. I've got some Glencaddam. I've got some Glengarry. I've got some the one next to Brora, Kleinleash. I got some of that. I think I've got some Tullibardine too. Yes, I do. I've got a lot. I'm nosing a J. Walker Green. It is exquisite. Yeah, Sam. It's good. I don't have any right now. I got to get one. But there's things I haven't tried yet. So I'm getting the things I haven't tried yet rather than the ones I like. What I did buy last night was the Legacy because that was the last one on the shelf and I had to get one. This Isla Infinity is nice. Very good. Ben saying, know what you mean with getting lost in the chat. If you accidentally scroll, you go up 100 messages. Exactly. And I know that Roy from Aquavite has made the same comment about getting lost. But now I'm near the end, so I'm not too bad. I'm near the end of the messages, so I'm just reading what's there. I got a new subscriber. That was the one I got when I was on here. I got congratulations. Your comment got a heart. Food Quig, hope you enjoy. Okay, that's Hillbilly 101. He made a comment. And you got a heart from somebody else here. And hopefully you will soon Whiskey Whistle something replied. Okay. I will get back to them when I get back to my email. What does my email say? Oh, my email's up to date. Weird. Really weird. Okay. Back to where I was. Okay. Sneeson says, nice, Sam Cox. May join you after this Maker's Mark. Sam Cox says, I swear that Johnnie Walker Green is so similar to the Oban Little Bay and Distiller's Only Green has an edge of smoke and a bit more spice and full body. Interesting. I did not notice the similarity because when I first got the Little Bay, I didn't get much at all. And only after about half a bottle did it start to open up and really, really be good. But I can see the similarities now, knowing both whiskeys. Only that it took my Little Bay a while to open up compared to the Johnnie Walker Green, which is just fabulous from the get-go. Sam Cox says, that's awesome, Sneerson. What did Sneerson say? May join you. Okay. Sneerson says, has anyone tried Johnnie Walker Green Island? Green Island? Never heard of it. Johnnie Walker Green has changed their packaging. Oh, what else is new? I am not surprised. We just went up a sub as you said that. $9.91. Good job. Well, that's cool because it was $9.90, $9.89, or $9.88 last time I looked. And then somebody joined, so it would have been $9.89. So now we're at $9.91. Fabulous. Sam Cox says, you hit the nail on the head. The Johnnie Walker Green is good from the get-go, which gives more value. Absolutely. The Little Bay is nice, mind you. And the Distiller's Edition, I've had that one too. But it's been about 4 years, maybe more, since I've had the Oban 14, and I never had a full bottle. So I gotta get me a bottle of Oban 14 and do a video about it and assess it again. Yeah, so I'm slowly getting to all the bottles that I have tried in the past but haven't made videos of, and I got most of them down now. That would be one of them. That would be the Oban 14, and I'm looking for that. Okay. Sneerson says, sorry, Island Green might be a traveler's exclusive. Could be. I wonder which island they are referring to. Are they referring to the island where Scotland is located? Or, well, that's probably the one that they would be talking about. Son Cox says, I should have mentioned I found the nose on the Johnnie Walker Green to be more fulfilling. It was like the Little Bay was lacking and couldn't quite say everything the Green was saying with the nose. Just a great dram. Yeah, it is a great dram. You're convincing me more and more to go get another bottle, but I can't drive right now. I'll get another bottle maybe eventually. No rush. There's plenty of it on the shelves. It's not like a few years ago when the stuff was discontinued and you couldn't find it anywhere, except some Skid Row shop in Nanaimo, where people went in there to buy 12 packs or 6 packs of Lucky Lager and never looked at the whiskey shelf. Yep. The maltiness in the Green is so powerful and beautiful. Oh, you're preaching to the Pope right now. I know how good that whiskey is. It's wonderful. Really, really wonderful. One of my favorites. Okay. Which in the Johnnie Walker Green blend do you think is giving it that maltiness? Well, let's see. We've got Kalila. We've got, I think there's some Talisker in there. There's some, what else is in there? Let me find a bottle of that. Yeah. I know I've got, you're making me look. Where do I have one of those? JW Green. Oh, way at the bottom, that way down there. That's not practical. In here. Yeah, there we go. Got it. All right. So we've got Talisker, Linkwood, Cragganmore, and Kalila. And you were asking about what? Just lost my live chat. Let me bring it back. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, there is Cragganmore in there. I think the maltiness comes from the Cragganmore and the Linkwood. The Talisker and Kalila give it some of that strength. Island Green includes single malts from Cardew, Glenkinchie, Clynelish, as well as greater proportion from Kalila for the extra smoky kick. Non-age statement, travel retail exclusive. No wonder I've never heard of it. So it's like the green, but it's a special green. What do they bottle it at? Is it like 46%? This is at 43, but it's wonderful. Let's go back up on the wall. And the miniature Macallan 12, that has to go up there too, right? That has to go right up there. Shit. I'm too short. Good enough. Good enough. All right. Where was I? Got my Isla Infinity. I've had all of these. Put those away. All right. We got 8 people watching. That's pretty good considering we've been on for almost 3 hours. Not bad. Okay. 43%. Okay. So many great whiskeys. Overwhelming, yes. And only one liver. Yeah. Guys are right. Only one liver. Only one life. My Isla blend. Lovely. Lovely. And the next thing that's going to go into it is the Kilchoman Mahir Bay. That's going to be the next Isla that I make a video about sometime in the future. Oh, yes, I know what I wanted to ask you. I have still not tried any Talisker. Oh, you have not tried any Talisker? I don't know if I want to spend more on a Talisker than a faithful Ardbeg 10 or Kalila 12. Talisker 10 won't set you back that far, will it? I don't think so. It's nice. To me, it's like an old friend. I don't think I have any right now. No. I'm out of Talisker. I'm out of Talisker 10, but I do have some Lechag 10. And that may be the next thing I'm going to pour, as I've gone through some other things already. Okay. Talisker's good. Try it once. If you don't like it, you don't have to get it again. That's the way I look at it. Talisker 10 seems to be what I want to get, but I hear it's not that smoky. Although Horst says it's spicy, which is interesting. Okay, your Talisker 10 will not be like a Ardbeg 10 or a Laphroaig 10. It won't be as spicy or as it won't be as peaty as that. But there is peat in it, and it is spicy. And I'll tell you what, when I first started drinking whiskey, way back in the late 80s, I had a bottle of Cragganmore, which I liked. And I had a bottle of Talisker, which I hated. Because my idea of whiskey was Weiser's Deluxe. And Talisker had so much peat and so much spice that I couldn't stand it. But if you give me a Talisker 10 now, I will just love it. I will just enjoy it to the top. Do yourself a favor and get one once. Get it one time. Try it. If you don't like it, okay, you don't like it. But who knows? You might enjoy it. You might love it. Okay. Talisker 10, yeah, try it. Ledaig 10 is always a winner. That is for damn sure. I'm going to pour me a dram right now. Yeah. These 3 glasses are getting dirty. Oh, yeah. Ben is still there, just listening and cleaning. Make the place look a lot nicer. Or a bit nicer. That's something I got to do eventually. It's a good way of looking at it. I can help develop my palate. I'll get it. How can I not like it, really? There you go. I dare not ask you compare Lag 12 to Ledaig 10. No. I'm still sipping on my Islay blend, which is freaking delicious. How can it not be freaking delicious? Everything that went into it was delicious. Okay. What does the Islay Infinity taste like at the moment? It's a bit peaty. It's a bit salty, maritime. It's a bit spicy. It's a bit medicinal. Underneath that all, it's a bit fruity. I'm getting both bonfire and medicinal peat, which is interesting, and some sweetness coming from the unpeated versions of Islay whiskey. I gotta get me another Bunnahabhain 12 soon. Bunnahabhain 12 is so nice. Peat, smoke, spice, salt, maritime spray. This is good. Good. This is a great blend. Ah, I made it myself. Need to get some more water here, just because. Power. Ah. If you tried it blindly, which one would you round it off to? Don't know. Don't know. I'd have to try it blindly to find out. Someone would have to pour me a blind Glencairn, and I would have to try it. Since there's nobody here to do that for me, I will have to just deal with it. Do you water down your Glengarry Founders? I found when I had it, it was extremely spicy at 48 ABV. That I had no water. I had to water it down to enjoy it. I like it neat. I like it neat, but I always have this tall glass of water on the side. So when I pour a dram this size here, I have a glass of water like that. So I don't necessarily put the water in the whiskey. The Glengarry is great, but I'll go like this, and I'll have a pool of water. Then I'll have a little sip. Little sip of the Glengarry. And that seems to bring it down just right. But that's for me. Everyone's different. I usually take a pull of water before I take a sip of whiskey. And for me, that's optimal. Yeah, I imagine you might need to put a bit of water in there to enjoy it. Some people think of Glengarry as a hot mess, not being able to pinpoint what is what going on where, because there is so much going on in that dram. There's some honey, and there's some heather, and some. Excuse me. That's drinking whiskey for you. I'm starting to get hungry too. Maybe I should put a pizza on. I find Glengarry Founders great, but I showed you the way I drink it, so for me that works. Yes, Bunnahabhain 12 is wonderful. It tastes like bourbon and scotch. Okay. Malty, spicy, sweet with a rummy aftertaste. Yes. And at a good price and great ABV. Absolutely. That's why I like Glengarry. Both the Founders and the 12 are excellent. For the money, you can't go wrong. Have you ever tried cold-fired pizza? It's amazing. And then with a whiskey. Well, I don't have any coal fire to make pizza with right here. So what I generally do is I turn my oven on and I set it to what it says on the box. Maybe I'll do that. Since I've tasted the whiskey already, if there's the smell of pizza in the air, it won't spoil anything for me. Just be a moment. I'll be right back. I'm going to put my oven on and set the pizza. Okay. Here's what I got. Here's what I got. I got a Donatello's Rise and Crust Deluxe Pizza that I bought from Walmart for like under $4. So it can't be bad, right? All right. Well, that oven has to warm up, so it's on preheat right now. Okay. Are you going to go for much longer? No, I don't think so, Ben. I wish I had a pizza right now. Message retracted from Barry. Damn it, now I want pizza. Sorry. I can down 16-inch pie right now. Then bring on the shits. All right. Ufda. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's something quite poignant and to the point. Okay, so it's been a fun stream. Yeah, Sam, it has. It has been good, and we're down to 4 people, so I think I'm going to call it off right about now. And Scandinavian Ufta. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up. Is it anything like lutefisk? I heard that's pretty interesting. Okay, nice. Going your pizza, joining. Okay. Until next time, Slancha. Yes, that's it, guys. It's been a blast and a half. 3 hours, we've been doing good, and I'll tell you what, Slancha.